The power of light microscopes to resolve fine details has just doubled. A new technique can distinguish tiny structures inside cells in colour and in 3D even if they're only 100 nanometers apart. By shining structured patterns of light on specimens, an interference pattern is created which enables us to extract information about their shapes even if they cannot be visualized directly. Researchers created high-resolution views of fixed mouse cells that have been stained with 3 different fluorescent colours to label the DNA, the nuclear envelope, and the pores through which molecules are transported into and out of the nucleus. The new approach might make it possible in future to study in much greater detail how chromosomes and other subcellular components are structured in space, and to distinguish, for example, DNA regions with active genes from those with inactive genes, an important step in understanding aging and various diseases.
All right, fast forward to the future. Imagine killing viruses like HIV, hepatitis, even the flu dead in their tracks by shaking them to death. Well, according to scientists, it may be possible. New research determining that motion at high frequencies could actually kill simple viruses. But is it really that simple? Fox News medical contributor Dr. Jennifer Ashton joins us live. Thank you, Jennifer, for coming on. All right, so a new way to kill viruses, shake them to death. How does this work?
Right. Now, first we want to give a very strong warning here. This does not mean that people can pick up other people or children and shake them when they're sick with a virus. But this is a very interesting mathematical model right now that was created. It's not brand new, but it has been shown recently out of the Arizona State University scientists to work almost by shattering the shell around the virus, very similarly to opera singers and breaking a glass with high frequency sound. So these shells around the viruses are their protection, and if they can be blasted apart by high frequency laser waves, then of course we can kill the virus.
So I guess the idea is that people who maybe become immune to certain drugs cannot become immune, or at least their viruses can't, to this shaking?
Well, that's part of it. And the really important thing to realize when you're working on any kind of new therapy is you want to destroy the bad and protect the good. So same thing for chemotherapeutic agents. So when you're talking about antiviral drugs, a lot of them are so powerful that they're not that effective against the virus, and they do a lot of damage to the rest of the body. So this is one way, and hopefully down the road we can target the outer part of the virus with this high frequency.
Medical research, the costs are big, but so are the potential payoffs. Mike Hegedus has the story of a company that's getting close to a big, big breakthrough. Mike on America, next.
You're watching Power Lunch on CNBC, first in business worldwide. The people you trust, the answers you need. CNBC.
When it comes to medical research, progress is measured in years, not in days. Every one of those years takes plenty of capital just to keep going. The payoff, of course, can be lucrative and groundbreaking. On America this afternoon, Mike Hegedus shows us how one company is closing in on its goal, and he's in Allendale, New Jersey.
It may be the ultimate case of seeing the light, because what you're watching has the potential to treat some of the world's most crippling diseases.
We believe that it could be the answer to HIV, AIDS, and hepatitis C and some of these other viruses.
Tom Fagan is the CEO of Allendale, New Jersey-based Energex Systems, a medical technology company that was started in 1999 with a treatment and a machine aimed at rheumatoid arthritis. It is now on the market. But what has scientists from New Jersey to Louisiana excited these days is the newest Energex invention, one focused squarely on the treatment of blood-borne viruses.
The science is old and well proven that certain proteins will absorb photons from light.
Tom Petrie is engineering director for Energex. This is his machine, one that exposes infected blood, about 4% of the patients is drawn, to a controlled level of ultraviolet light, light that kills the virus, but leaves the blood undamaged.
This is a quartz crystal. Right. It has a labyrinth in it, and it has certain characteristics molded into it to make the blood twist and turn, turbulate through the chamber.
Basically, what we're doing is creating a personalized vaccine out of someone's infected blood and putting it back into the bloodstream, and the immune system is stimulated by it.
Stimulated enough to attack the rest of the live virus in the other 96% of the blood. It has been undergoing FDA trials for 5 years.
For quality of life issues, they're able to get out of bed, get back to work, and become productive in society again.
A society they may not have to bear the burden of the high cost of treating AIDS or SARS or hepatitis C. This treatment could cut the cost of treating such diseases in half.
Proteins are single-chain polymers composed of monomers called amino acids. A condensation reaction forms a peptide bond and releases water. Each of the 20 amino acids has a unique shape and chemistry. Some are hydrophobic, some are hydrophilic. Some are big and some are small. These 20 amino acids bind in different combinations to form many different proteins. Primary structure is the amino acid sequence. Here we see a protein assembling one amino acid at a time. The side chain size is part of what determines how a protein folds. Secondary structure refers to local substructures, such as helices and sheets, held together with hydrogen bonds. Tertiary structure is the globular unit into which the amino acid chain folds. Each unit is held together by disulfide bridges and ionic bonds. Quaternary structure describes the association between subunits. Each subunit is a separate amino acid chain. Hemoglobin has 4 subunits, forming a tetramer. Specific function is due to specific shape. Here are 2 examples. Ribonuclease A is a monomer. Its function is to chop RNA into smaller pieces. The active site is in this cleft region. Insulin is another example. It is stored in our bodies as a hexamer, but its functional unit is a monomer.
Possible cure for cancer. Juan Carlos.
Indeed, Kurt, scientists have always known certain people just don't get cancer, even when exposed to cancer-inducing agents such as cigarettes. Now, what makes those people immune to the disease is being developed to kill cancer, a possible cure in humans that may be found right here in Palm Beach County. You are looking at microscopic video of cancer cells being eradicated. They're literally being popped at the top and at the bottom by special healthy cells. Proof researchers say that a cure is out there.
Now something that is generating great debate in medical circles, an experimental treatment for AIDS, an unproven treatment called hyperthermia. Today, for the second time this year, a patient here in Atlanta underwent that treatment. It happened at Atlanta Hospital, the same hospital that is in the process of having its license to operate taken away. Channel 5's Russ Jameson has details on today's experimental surgery.
He is now resting in the intensive care unit and seems to be stable.
He is 37 years old, from Chicago, diagnosed with AIDS 4 years ago. He is known only as Tony. And this morning he underwent a controversial new treatment called hyperthermia. The technique circulates blood out of the body and heats it to 108 degrees before returning it. Carl Crawford was the first patient 4 months ago. Nearly dead from an AIDS-related cancer, he took a shot in the dark.
I had nothing to lose.
Now doctors say he is cancer-free and shows no signs of the AIDS virus. Just after today's operation, surgeons reported their latest patient is doing well.
I'm happy to report to you that, as far as we can tell, all of the efforts in the operating room were successful. We did not have any complications.
While admitting that these early results may raise hopes, even false hopes, both doctors, Alonzo and Logan, say that the use of this procedure should be accelerated, not only for better data, but also for ethical reasons. Cancer specialist Dr. Kenneth Alonzo says too little is known about this new treatment and its results, so they will repeat these procedures soon.
I think ethically, the demands made upon us as well as on other physicians is to come down here, see what we're doing, take the protocol, and look at others who are HIV positive.
Tony's family came with him, saying chemotherapy wasn't working. Their brother was dying.
I'm Vic Salazar.
And I'm Catherine Garcia. The first medical device said to treat bioterrorist infections is being developed here in San Diego. Medical correspondent Peggy Pico joins us from the newsroom with a first look at this new device. Peggy.
Catherine, there are no drugs and no vaccines involved because it's a mechanical device called a hemopurifier. Its inventors claim it can clean out a person's blood of deadly viruses or toxins like Ebola and anthrax. From bioterrorist weapon drills to real exposure of military troops, this simple small filter, called a hemopurifier, may soon protect against enemies made in a lab.
We look at smallpox, the anthrax toxin, botulinum toxin, and then there's a host of other pathogens that this could be useful for.
Deadly toxins this filter is said to clean out of the body through a process very similar to dialysis.
That mimics your immune system's process of clearing viruses and toxins from circulation before cells and organs can be infected.
The hemopurifier works a lot like the oil filter on your car. Infected blood runs through thousands of fibers and then comes out clean on the other side. The cartridge attaches to an artery. Blood is pumped through its fibers where special chemicals suck toxins out before the blood is pushed back into your body. But unlike dialysis pumps, this one is portable.
The cartridge could be attached to the belt or to your arm, but probably the belt is just as easy as anywhere.
And the wearable systems can actually be deployed through direct access into the body without any type of pumping device required.
So they would wear them?
They would wear them, and your body's own blood pressure would drive the diffusion of viruses from circulation.
It's piqued the interest of the military and medical researchers.
Chronic conditions like HIV or hepatitis C will evolve as ongoing treatment mechanisms, whereas biological weapons, these would be a continuous one-time treatment over an extended period of time.
If further testing proves this really works, this pump could be a simple defense against high-tech bioterrorism.
We look at this technology to being the first line of defense against drug and vaccine-resistant pathogens.
The hemopurifier is the first medical device to treat infectious disease. It's primarily used in a manner where it mimics the natural immune response of clearing viruses and toxins before the occurrence of cell and organ infection.
Infected blood flows into the hemopurifier and hollow fibers separate the virus from the bloodstream, sending purified blood back into the body.
Most of the viral conditions we're looking at, conditions like HIV, we're seeing typically 50% clearance or more of the virus in a 2-hour time frame or less.
However, the device is not a cure.
Our job is to have the therapy perform in a manner so that we can extend in chronic conditions like HIV or hepatitis C, so we can improve or extend the performance of therapies that are available.
Joyce is currently working with the FDA and hopes to see the hemopurifier on the market in the U.S. within the next couple of years.